I'm Judy Shaw for NYSE Floor Talk. Joining me today is Nikhil Kamath. He is co-founder and CIO at Zerodha and True Beacon. Nikhil, it is so great to see you. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having me, Judy.
A pleasure. Now, a quick note to our viewers, this interview is for informational purposes only. The NYSE doesn't recommend any investments or investment strategies. Now, Nikhil, you have a very interesting story. You dropped out of school at the age of 14 and went on to build one of the world's leading retail brokerage platforms by trade volume. What led you to launch Zerodha?
At the very beginning, the intention was not to be a broker. We started off as traders, me and my brother Nitin, who are partners, and we became something called a sub-broker, who's not a broker, but halfway there. And the intention at the very beginning was to lower cost for the trades that we were doing ourselves. And I think we stumbled into broking. And ever since we did, I think we built a product that we as traders required. And we've had people come on board organically ever since the starting, and the same trend continues today. I think we built products that we think are useful, and people seem to like it for now.
Okay, wonderful. Now, tell me about True Beacon. That is a new fund that you launched. Now, what's different about True Beacon?
Much like we brought in transparency into broking, what we're trying to do with True Beacon is do exactly the same, but for asset management. We're catering to ultra high net worth clients across the globe who want exposure to public markets in India. These are sophisticated investors who already have exposure to many different funds. We're creating a structure for them wherein there are no statutory fees. They don't pay any money in fee unless they actually see a return and they profit. So we're working on a 0 and 10 model with a high watermark. So whatever gains a client makes, we charge 10% of that as a fee. But outside of that, we don't charge anything. We felt the asset management industry is not very client aligned. So we have created a product which is 100% client aligned. And in the 16 or 17 months that we've had since inception, it has probably also been the best performing fund in India in terms of the alpha it has generated over the benchmarks here. So early days, but a great start, and hope we continue to grow and scale at the rate that we are today.
All right, now your global fund has seen as much interest as your domestic fund. Why do you think that is?
I think people love the India story. It's a market with immense scale. In many aspects, it's still very underpenetrated. So most global investors we meet, they want a piece of India, but up until now, I don't think they had a clean, simple structure through which they could come into India. So we've kind of like tried to fill that gap. We have a FPI license out of Mauritius. We're a Category 1 FPI through which we bring foreign investors in. It's fairly tax efficient, and structurally, I think this is leaps ahead of any of the incumbent players who are available in the market up until today.
Right now, Nikhil, you've been trading for the past 15 years. How would you describe your trading style?
I think my trading style changes constantly. What worked 2 years ago will not work now. What worked 5 years ago did not work 2 years ago. I think the biggest thing with trading systems and trading styles is to not hold on to a notion too strongly. You have to be willing to change and accept that the markets are constantly evolving and change with the times. In the truest sense, there is no real way to predict what the market might do tomorrow or in a certain time frame going ahead. But if you have enough systems and rules and checks and balances in place, I think you can create a portfolio which does reasonably well under extreme and normal conditions. And that's what we strive to do.
All right, now this is quite a milestone. Forbes has named you India's youngest billionaire. What's next for you when you've already achieved so much at an early age?
I think a lot of the stuff that has been achieved up until now has been, a lot of hard work put in by the people, my colleagues who have worked with me over the last decade, colleagues and friends. But I think the goal now is to find new and interesting ideas to work on. True Beacon right now, it takes away a significant amount of my time. But I think the end goal we are trying to achieve, if we actually succeed, will be, significant and fulfilling, and the journey will be worth it in a way.
Okay, now finally, tell me about your plans for expansion, specifically the US.
So we have clients from the US, very selective, ultra HNI clients who are either founders of P firms or venture capital companies. We have a lot of that. Uh, I think we will never be able to go into America and market the product. But I think the people who have been on the platform for a while now are happy, and they will go out and talk about it. But we look at engaging with American investors a lot more than we have up until now.
Great. Well, Nikhil, it's been so wonderful to talk with you. I want to thank you for joining me on NYSE Floor Talk.
Thank you so much, Judy.